thank you for joining us. To our top stories. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, is on a two-day state visit to Tunisia, starting from today, following the invitation of his Tunisian counterpart, Qais Said. A new impetus was given to the Algerian-Italian energy cooperation following the signing of two agreements between the national oil company Sonatrach and Italian group Eni. And the national football team are to face the Qatari side in a tough game as part of the FIFA Arab Cup 2021. Good evening, those were today's headlines. First in our top stories, at the invitation of his brother Qais Said, the President of the Tunisian Republic, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, pays on Wednesday an official two-day state visit to Tunisia. This visit is part of the endeavors to strengthen the deep ties of brotherhood, uniting the two brotherly peoples, and broadening the fields of cooperation to a new qualitative level, materializing the common will of the leaders of the two countries and their peoples. Moving on, or still with Algerian-Tunisian relations, which are excellent, the two presidents keep reminding of this fact on every occasion they have. Abdelmajid Tebboune and Qais Said are willing to consolidate these ties even more. It's worth recalling that Algeria and Tunisia have long relations that date back to a common long history and sacrifice, such as the events of Saqiet Sidi Youssef. Let's delve into details in this story by Ines Killo.
Algeria, Tunisia, two countries linked by long-standing relations of friendship and deep fraternity. Two countries also linked to each other by history and common destiny. Algerians and Tunisians are one people. Tunisia is a brotherly neighboring country with which we are linked by different fields that make the two peoples in common solidarity and interdependence, and therefore two peoples with the same destiny, the same unity, the same values, the same customs, and the same cultures. Algeria to Tunisia is like an older sister. Were it not because of colonialism, Algeria and Tunisia would have been one country. We have the same language, the same customs, and we have many common characteristics. This fraternity between the two peoples reflects the special and exceptional political relations at a very high level. The President of the Republic of Algeria, Abdelmajid Tebboune, and his Tunisian counterpart, Qais Said, have always worked to meet the expectations of their peoples. Abdelmajid Tebboune said that they have agreed on the basis that the President will have visits to the brotherly country Tunisia with an important government delegation in order to discuss all the work that awaits decisions from both presidents, and they are ready to help the brotherly country Tunisia. The Tunisian President, Qais Said, said that Algeria and Tunisia are one people with a common history and a common future, with no doubt of achieving the hopes of our ancestors and the dreams of our youth will be fulfilled. The Algerian-Tunisian relations do not stop at simple visits exchanged between the officials of the two countries. They are also relations of coordination and continuous cooperation carried out between the two neighboring countries in the political, security, and economic fields. This is without counting Algeria's solidarity and support for its brother country Tunisia in all the stages and all the circumstances it is going through. The political will for a real cooperation has been translated on the ground through strategic projects that link Algeria and Tunisia in various fields, such as energy, industry, higher education, training, and culture. As for economic exchanges, statistics predict a promising future for strategic cooperation. Tunisia is Algeria's second economic partner in Africa. The volume of African exchanges between the two countries amounted to $1,259 million and these exchanges will be strengthened upon entering the SLICAF African Trade Area. The Algerian-Tunisian political relations are called for further strengthening in the future. The events of Saqiet Sidi Youssef, where the blood of Algerians and Tunisians mixed, united the two brotherly countries forever.
Trade, economy and tourism are the main sectors that gather Algeria and Tunisia, and they are the most important aspects that the two brotherly countries insist to maintain. More on the bilateral ties with Rani Al-Bahri.
Tunisia is Algeria's second partner in Africa. The Algerian-Tunisian relations represent special and exceptional character, especially with regard to the depth of the existing link between the two countries. The economic and commercial cooperation sector and the development of border relations occupies a strategic position in the exchanges between the two brotherly countries. The trade volume reached this year more than $1 billion, supported by preferential trade agreements that prove the twinning of the two border chambers of the two countries, as well as the presence of the Algerian Chamber of Commerce and Industry since 2015. The energy cooperation aspect hasn't been ruled out. Bilateral exchanges are very important. Tunisia is the fourth largest importer of Algerian gas, with a volume of nearly 3 billion cubic meters per year. The Tunisian market is also supplied with various energy products of Algerian origin, with more than 1,000 megawatts of electricity annually. The quality of Algerian-Tunisian relations isn't new, and the firm bonds of brotherhood that unite the two brotherly peoples will for sure strengthen bilateral cooperation and serve better the common interests of the two countries.
The consolidation of bilateral relations between the two countries encompasses the consolidation of the roads that allow trade between the two countries and the movement of people. A new road, therefore, axis will soon be built on the side of Al-Hdada, a border town with neighboring Tunisia. Ines Kilou reports.
It is another two-way national road which will connect the Algerian border areas with Tunisia, the length of more than 45 kilometers, and this road passes through the locality of Al-Hdada, Al-Marahna and Soghras. On the side of the border, a road that makes a significant contribution to the economic and local trade exchanges and to the whole region. We have 6 kilometers to achieve reach the border with Tunisia. It is a very important region from an economic point of view for the Soghras province, which is not very far from the east-west motorway access which connects Annaba and the port of Tunisia. A major road that connects Algeria to Tunisia, also through Saqiet Sidi Youssef, historical links, but also a road for trade that will soon be inaugurated. This act will be of an important contribution to our locality, but also to all the users of this road within the framework of the exchanges with Tunisia. Moreover, a few kilometers for a road project of capital importance, capable of meeting challenges in the context of the social and economic development of an entire region.
The members of the Council of the Nation adopted on Wednesday the two draft bills related to the fight against illicit speculation and the modification of the Penal Code. The vote was during a plenary session presided over by the President of the Council, Salah Goudjil, in the presence of the Minister of Justice, Abdelrashid Tabbi, and the Minister in charge of relations with the Parliament, Basma Azwar. At the end of the vote, Tabbi affirmed that the project relative to the fight against illegal speculation has the objective of serving the society, protect the purchasing power, regulate the market by the relevant authorities, and protect the national economy. Moving on to another topic now, Foreign Affairs Minister Ramtan Lamamra pleaded on Tuesday for a global approach to face up illicit financial and arms flows as instability vectors in Africa, especially in the Sahel region, on the occasion of his participation in a ministerial meeting of the African Union Security and Peace Council held by video conferencing on the relations between peace, security and development.
I believe that we ought to place a special emphasis on the urgent need to work towards breaking the silos, both at national and continental levels, to ensure that we respond in a coherent and effective manner to the challenges imposed by the different conflict cycles in Africa. In this regard, and in order to illustrate the imperative for us to stop viewing or treating our problems in isolation, I would like to draw the Council's attention to the challenges arising from both the illicit financial flows out of Africa and the illicit weapons flows into Africa. Although different in nature, in fact, both flows ultimately trigger and feed instability in our continent and therefore must be dealt with in a comprehensive and effective manner. These examples and many others provide answers as to why the principle of African solutions to Africa's problems shall continue to be pursued as a strategic objective that will steer our collective self-reliance while enabling balanced and responsible partnerships that respect Africa's right to development and put an end to its long marginalization in all areas of international life. I thank you for your kind attention.
The Sonatrach Group and the Italian Eni signed on Wednesday in Algiers a contract of exploration and production in the zone of Burkina Basin, the first since the promulgation of the new law on hydrocarbons. A second agreement was signed by the two parties in the sector of energy transition, notably in the production of solar energy, prospecting lithium, the production of green fuel, as well as the production of hydrogen. These contracts have been initialed by the CEO of the Sonatrach Group, Tawfiq Hakkar, and the Managing Director of Eni, Claudio Descalzi, in the presence of the Energy Minister Mohamed Arqab and the Ambassador of Italy to Algeria, Giovanni Pugliese. On the occasion of the 41st meeting of the Council of Ministers of the African Petroleum Producers Association, APA, Energy and Mining Minister Mohamed Arqab called upon participants to set up the level of cooperation between the producing countries so as to ensure the markets and population supply in energy.
Today, we are called upon to develop our sector's activities from upstream to downstream, with the need, as debated today, to consolidate cooperation between oil-producing countries so that this energetic resource is more available throughout the African continent. It is worth recalling that there are more than 900 million Africans who do not have access to modern commodities such as gas, while there are more than 600 million Africans who do not have access to electricity. So this conference was also about the policy to be adopted with the African oil-producing countries.
As part of the implementation of the Algerian-Spanish cooperation program, the patrol vessel Audace P-45, belonging to the Spanish Navy, docked on Tuesday morning at the port of Algiers in a stopover of 3 days. On the sidelines of this stopover visit, the command of the Spanish patroller Audace P-45 paid a courtesy visit to the command of the Maritime Frontage Center, General Gaid Noureddin. During the stopover, a floating unit coming under our naval forces represented by the corvette Rais Hassan Bribiar missile launcher board number 807 will carry out a joint exercise at sea with the Spanish patrol vessel Audace P-45. The objective of this stopover is to strengthen bilateral military cooperation relations between our naval forces and the Spanish Navy. The military industry is flourishing in Algeria, and this is proven by the presence of the National Army's flag in the National Production Fair. Many products are manufactured by national skills, in particular textiles and automobiles. The full story is by Rania Al-Bahri.
كما حاجة جديدة اللي جبتها في المعرض هذا معرضنا جبنا دي كاميرا تيرميك. هذه جات الجائحة اللي صارت جائحة كورونا. راك تشوف الأخ لا تمبيراتور تاعك نورمال.
The Video Surveillance Systems Construction Unit is one of the 18 production units of the National People's Army, which provides its services according to new technologies to ensure the security of sites for the benefit of public or even private institutions.
من بين هذه الأنظمة
We have different systems, including ports, airports, Algiers subway, and recently we have been tasked with securing the Mediterranean Games. The change that has occurred in the world, especially with the electronic warfare, and the revolution resulting from new information technology has imposed new behaviors, management style, and the use of equipment at the forefront of technology that requires qualified skills. Mechanical Industry Promotion Group introduced new units and different production models which proved their competitiveness as always.
الجديد في منتوجات المجمع.
A novelty in our group is to offer 4x6 and 4x4 light and heavy-duty vehicles, as well as mechanical products. Our goal is to increase the rate of integration. High-quality local productions reflect the high level of competence reached by military institutions and its various industries in the manufacturing and modernization of maritime, air equipment, signaling, transport, textiles, as well as light and heavy mechanical industries, is a model of success with rigor and competence.
The international community commemorates the 61st anniversary of the UN General Assembly's adoption of the Declaration on Granting Independence to Colonized Countries and Peoples, while Western Sahara, the last colony in Africa, is still awaiting its self-determination referendum. The national football team are to face today Qatar in the semi-final round as part of the FIFA Arab Cup 2021. The Desert Foxes, who managed to secure their qualification after a meritorious victory over Morocco, have to display the same stamina versus the host team to ensure a berth for the final game of the competition. The Algerian side will be backed by our nationals in Qatar. It has always been the case in the previous matches. Well, that was the last story we had. Thank you for tuning in to our program. Good night.